Hey everyone, and I am Slesha back here, and you're most welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share the complete roadmap for web development. So, first of all, don't forget to subscribe my channel, and without wasting any further time, let's get started. So, if we talk about web development, web development consists of two parts. First is the front end, and second is the back end. Front end consists of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and some frameworks and libraries of both CSS and JavaScript. So, frameworks and libraries can be React, Vue, Angular, or Bootstrap, and many more. And if we talk about backend, backend consists of backend. If you want to learn backend, you need to learn any one of these, not all. like Maybe it would be PHP or Python and Django or Node.js or Java and Spring. There are many more languages for backend like C++, JavaScript and all, but I have listed the top one over here. And first you have to learn the language, like for Python and Java, and then you have to take a database for it like Django or Spring. And now let's talk about the main part of this video, which is the web development roadmap. So first of all, in web development we will be learning HTML. HTML is the main thing in web development, as it is the language of the web. HTML stands for hypertext markup language. After HTML, we'll be moving on to CSS, that is the cascading style sheet. So, in a website, if we talk about HTML and CSS, HTML is the skeletal, and CSS is just the design or the all the attractive things which we add to that skeleton to make it look beautiful. And then the third thing which we will be doing, it will be JavaScript. JavaScript adds interactivity to the website, which means that all the functioning of the website is done using JavaScript. For example, if you create a button in a website, you will be creating it using HTML. Then you might be adding some design to it, like its background color, its size, its position, using CSS. And then what action should be performed when the button is clicked is done using JavaScript. Like if you want that if the button is clicked, the user should move on to this or this page or this URL. So this thing is done by JavaScript. After we have completed HTML, CS, and JavaScript, we have completed, you can say, the front end web development. Then we can move on to backend. In backend, I would recommend you to have Node.js, as Node.js is popular nowadays. But if you want, you can take some another also. Like if you have, or your situation may be some different. But if you're a complete beginner, if you don't know anything, then you should start with Node.js. PHP is easy, but it is old, so I would not recommend it. And Java and Spring, if we talk about, so if you have learned Java, that's a good option. But if you have not learned it, it doesn't make any sense. And also for Python and Django, I would recommend that if you know Python, then only you should choose it. Otherwise, no need to learn an extra language. You can just move on with Node.js. And then if we talk about the next thing in this roadmap, the last thing, which is the frameworks and libraries. Many people start frameworks and libraries just after the front end development. But if you want to become, because I talked about the complete web development roadmap, so that means that you want to become a full stack web developer and not just a front end or back end. So after backend, then you can start with the frameworks and libraries, because they are not of much importance, I would say. They are just made to make our work easier. So once you have finished with the backend, you can say that you're a full stack developer. And then you can start with all the different things like all the frameworks or libraries or web design